There's like a weird vibe in the area at the minute, and I just feel like that 70-pounder is coming. You don't get many chances in life to catch a common like that. Whoa, what a carp.
This is turning into a mega trip for Dovey and highlights the significance of amazing angling. And while Spooner is seemingly being overshadowed by Dovey's rampage, he was actually having an exceptional trip too and was living in fantasy land.
What a great session this is turning into. Me and Dovey are catching plenty. Al not quite so much, but I'm sure it'll happen. And on top of that, I'm just sat in the most beautiful position, the most beautiful lake with such an idyllic backdrop. I just don't know what else this lake has got to it. I cannot believe I've just seen an osprey has just dived down and he's taken off with his dinner. Unbelievable. There's a kingfisher. No, he is. It's just landed on me rods. 20 years I've been fishing, carp fishing. That has never happened. Honestly, I don't know what else this... But that is it. That is the icing on the cake. This lake literally has everything. Or as they say in France, bœuf bourguignon.
I couldn't stop catching monsters, and within a crazy half an hour, I landed a 54 and a 47-pound brace. What a trip this is turning out to be.
This unimaginable run Dovey is on is giving us the belief that catching our 70-pound target is a reality.
I don't even feel like I'm involved in the team effort at the minute. Team target is between Tom and Neil, innit, really? They're fishing for fish. I've heard swimming pools nearby hold more carp.
Being in the right area is everything, but not quite as important as grip on your boots. Nicely styled out, Spoons. Anyway, these fish are getting bigger.
Oh, my God, is that a massive carp? Look at that. Whoa. Get in the net. Get in the net. Yes. Woo. Yes. Merci. Ah, je suis magnifique.
By the look of it, this brace of carp could again be pushing us to a 70-pound target.
It's really strange, you know. Apparently the average was meant to be like 30 pound in here. 12 kilo, no, it's not, it's like 25, 30 pounds. Literally everything I hook is massive.
The size of these carp are unreal, and it's hard to believe what we're witnessing. Spooner weighed his first, and it felt like a real possibility that the next fish could be the one.
Do you know what that is? I think it's 60 pound, 2 ounces. It's barely over. But it's over. It's a 60 pounder. Get in there. Oh, look at that brute. I've joined Dovey in the 60s club. Only a fraction over, but who cares? And even if it was a fraction under, who cares? Just look at him. I can barely lift him. That is a creature.
Our target might be a 70-pounder, but take nothing away. Catching a 60-pounder from a lake as tough as this is a fish of a lifetime. And by the looks of it, the carp Dovey has just caught was another very special fish. And weighing in at 63 pounds 12 ounces, it's our biggest carp of the trip so far.
This is true insanity. 3 60 pounds in a day for the team. It's never been done before. Just utter madness. I can't even hold in. My biceps have gone. I feel like an old man today, but an happy old man. Look at him. It's an old brute, probably older than I am. 63 pounds. I'm in my element. I really am.
This is the trip of dreams for myself and Dovey, but for Ali, it was yet to really get started.
I think the lads sympathise. It's not even a laughing matter, really, because a lot of planning's gone into this, mentally, physically, logistically, and yeah, I've been at the brunt of it. And then to come here and then pull a duffer in draw numbers and then end up in this swim while your mates are absolutely smashing out the best carp we have ever caught. Ever. Not even in Monster Carp, ever, full stop. And to be here is beyond depressing.
With our second full night of fishing ahead, hopefully it can only get better.
Well, to add insult to injury, it didn't.
That is probably not even a 10-pounder.
I caught not one, but probably two of the lake's smallest residents.
I didn't even know there was fish like this in here.
The following morning, the sun rose and my spot was already on fire, producing a lovely 53-pounder. Meanwhile, over in Ali's swim, it'd gone.
To the new spot, as the angler in the swim has now left. This swim opposite Dovey and Spooner is the perfect location to target the shoal of carp living out in the main body of water. To attack the centre of the lake, I had to fish my rods over a large weed bed in front of me. This is not ideal, and the weed could be very problematic and will take some careful and skilled angling if I'm going to get the carp back through this. Not to have all my eggs in one basket, I was also going to be baiting a spot in the bay to my right.
Yes. Such a relief to be in here now. Rods are out. That big arena of water out there, flanked by weed. I'm out there. Dovey's out there. Spooner's out there. The trio are out there. My dreams are out there. Let the good times roll.
Our hunt for a 70-pound monster carp in the south of France is getting ever closer for myself and Dovey.
Yes!
But after a struggling start for Al, he has now joined us in the central part of the lake.
Such a relief to be in here now.
But there was no guarantee of action, as Ali was still a long way from Dovey's mega spot. A spot that, with Dovey's skill and knowledge, has produced one of the finest angling sessions of a lifetime. After just 24 hours at the lake, Dovey saw a large shoal of carp out long past his rods, and it was his quick thinking that was vital to his success.
The plan was to fish long over a riverbed and a bridge that's actually on that river, past that into this sort of flat area just before the weed that they're living in. And I know that river's there because one of the local guys come around and showed me a picture of this lake with no water in it, and that is just fantastic local knowledge that you cannot ignore. Now, the fish are obviously using that riverbed as a bit of a route to get down to this area, and they're living in that weed behind the riverbed. So, as not to scare them, I've only fished one rod on the spot that I thought would produce the most, and it really has. I've also got one rod to the left as well, just over the river, slightly off of that spot, which has produced a few fish, but because it's not right in their living room, it hasn't done quite as many bites. But that one will keep doing me bites all the way through the trip, I'm sure.
As another day ends, we're now halfway into our trip. With one fishable night left of the weekend, I had my fingers crossed for my first taste of real action. In the early hours of the following morning, the carp were awake and Spooner was landing what looks like a huge Carces mirror.
Get in there. Yes. Oh, look at him. There's another chunk. I don't want this trip to ever end.
Spooner retained the fish in the sling for the big reveal at first light to find out how big it really was. As the sun rose, it was indeed another colossal specimen. At 60 pounds, 2 ounces, it's another carp that yet again defies all our expectations.
I am running out of things to say about this place. Unbelievably, as a team, this is our 5th fish over 60 pounds. I can't wait until the next bite. Me and Dovey are having a red letter session, proper trip of a lifetime, but it is being tarnished a bit because Ali, his trip could not be further from ours. When he gets off the mark with a whacker, and he will, that's when we celebrate.
Oh, I'm away. I'm away. I'm away. It's away. Oh, my life. Whoa. What are the chances? Would you, Adam and Eve it? Oh. Bloody hell. Need to be Rambo. Because half the battle's just getting the bite. The other part now is to get the thing in. My worst fears are being realised. I knew I could get it in a little way, and then I was going to hit this horrible bank of wheat. And there we go. And that's the end of that. Ladies and gentlemen.
After all this waiting and hard graft, to lose a carp at this stage is gut-wrenching.
Tackle all stood up. Hook didn't in that battle. And that's the end of that one.
It's hard to take a positive from this run of bad luck, but it's a promising sign that Ali is now in the right area and the carp are still very much at large. On a positive note, my mega spot is still producing, landing 3 more carp, with the biggest being over 50 pounds.
I pondered.
Later that day, the action continued for Dovey, but this time it was from one of the creatures we feared we'd be hassled with.
Oh, he's big. He's big.
Yep, the Wells catfish, which in this lake can grow to over 150 pounds.
I'm not going to be able to get it in there.
It's not going in my net. No way.
It was catfish carnage in Dovey's swim, with one not fitting in the net and another screaming bite from yet another catfish.
Unfortunately, I didn't land the second catfish, but I did land the first one, big one, 85-pounder. And one of the reasons I did want to catch one of them is just to show the public how easy they are to hold.
Oh, I've got it.
A lot of people struggle with it, but not me. All you have to do is just pick them under the pec, pick them up, easy as pie. Right, pick that. And it's even easier when it's 2 of you. Look at that most ridiculous fish. I'm going to show you him down his head. Look at that. It's the biggest catfish I've ever caught, actually. He's so slimy. What a horrible thing. Right, go on, boy.
After a frustrating previous day for Ali, we all hoped that his fortunes would soon change, and this early morning bite could be the perfect tonic.
Each bite gives you that little bit more confidence that you're doing something right. It's a good fish. Slow, slow bite. Proper big fish bite.
After skillfully navigating the weed and a dogged battle, is Ali about to see his first Carces monster?
Please be a carp. Catfish. What a disaster.
It is a monster, but this catfish is not the species Ali wanted to see. This session was getting tougher and his morale was low.
Lost the carp yesterday, and then this one felt big. It was a big fish. That's why it felt heavy, but it wasn't running me ragged like a cat. But I did have to give line a few times, so yeah, that's when I suppose when you look back, it could have been a bit catty. Done now, innit? Just get the rod back out.
For Dovey and I, this session couldn't be more different. So while Ali was licking his wounds, I gave Dovey a call to see what's going on.
Hello, Treacle.
All right, you massive idiot.
How are you, mate? Bit tight. I bet your arms must be aching by now.
I have. I've got these, you know, like you get tennis elbow? Yeah. I've got 60-pounder elbow. I have, I'm not even joking. On the inside. I bet you've got it as well.
I was going to say, I've got a touch of that as it goes.
I bet you Al's arms are fine.
Oh, that's low. But yeah, I should imagine he's sort of willing, raring, ready to go.
Oh, mate, I've just been looking over. I really hope he gets one. He's had some bad luck. He's been in the wrong spot, but it's going to happen now.
It is, mate. I mean, I know he's getting catted out a bit, but it's only a matter of time before one of them bites is just one of the big old carp.
Yeah, exactly. He's obviously got spots that fish are feeding on, no matter what they are.
Mate, he might just do the team target, just drop the mic, have one bite, one proper bite, and just have a 70.
Yeah.
Put it past him. He's got a bit of a track record for a big un.
Bit annoying, would that be?
Yeah. I'd want to, you know, I'll be happy for him to his face, but inside I'll be dying.
Oh, brilliant. No, I hope he gets on, mate. I hope we all get a 70. All right then, bro. I'll catch you later.
All right, mate. Good luck. Bye.
While these boys are sitting pretty, every bite at the moment means everything to me. And it wasn't long until I had another chance.
Ali's got one on. It's great news. Let's just hope it's a big one and he manages to get it in the net.
This fish was fighting differently. I was sure it was a carp and now had to navigate it once again through the large beds of weed in front of me.
I think the fish has done him in weed. Never before has a fish for someone else meant so much as right now. Come on, Al.
Coming. It's coming. Oh, it's still on. Lovely.
With the fish now moving and seemingly past the weed, one of the crew, Gabby, waded out to help.
Yes, carp. Get out there, Gab. Go on, son. Wait.
Go on, son! Go on, Al! Woo!
Yes!
Hey!
Oh, get in. How big is it now? That's the next question.
Ali's first proper carp from this mighty lake weighed in at a respectable 43 pounds, 8 ounces, but more importantly, was a weight off his shoulders.
Oh, here we go. This was our original target, and this really is what I wanted, just my own bit of Carces history. And here it is in my arms at last. Feels like an eternity, but now it's happened. We can start dreaming of more Carces carnage. Mwah, thank you, mate. What a battle.
Dovey and I have now caught 5 carp over 60 pounds. Ali, after a shaky start, had finally got amongst the bigger carp.
Yeah!
Our target was a 70-pounder, but with the finish line not too far away, every bite was precious.
Please be a big one. We kept saying we've got loads of time left, and that loads of time is turning into not a lot of time, to be honest. I just want a 70-pounder so bad.
Dovey's unbelievable run looks like it's continuing, as this carp looks huge. This could easily be our target 70-pounder.
That is a big old common. Just be relaxed a bit, be relaxed a bit. Yes! Yes!
It was massive. This place is unreal. By the size of it, it could be the one that breaks our target. Was it going to tip the scales to over 70 pounds?
Oh my God. It's our biggest carp yet. 66 pound it is. That is a new PB common for me. 65 pounds something it was before. I am over the moon. We're a step closer to the 70-pounder. And that is a special fish.
Oh, so close. Just 4 pounds off our target. But when a carp gets this big, from a venue this epic, this truly is a fish of a lifetime.
As if this trip wasn't ridiculous enough. This is one of the very best fish I've ever caught on the best trip I've ever been on. Look at that.
Well, news has filtered through that Dovey has caught yet another whacker, but more interestingly, it's a double PB. I'm going to get on my way now.
Mate, what have you got there?
Well, I didn't know if you had enough water. Now, is it factually correct that that is the biggest fish you've ever caught in France?
Yes.
I wanted to check. Brace yourself. I've got to be honest, that felt good.
It's so cold.
I'll leave you with it. Well done. Hang on. Is that the biggest common you've ever caught?
No.
It is, though, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, mate. Well done, mate. I'll see you later.
As Dovey releases yet another Goliath carp back into this mad lake, I now had front row seats watching the boys having it off. And with only one decent carp to my name, I wanted more.
Reminds me a bit of my childhood, seeing the other kids in the street with all the best bikes and toys, and I didn't have a lot. And I have that same feeling watching the other boys having all the fun
and I want a piece of that. But it only made me more determined to succeed, so it's a good feeling to have.
The carp-catching spectacular Ali was watching continued, as no sooner was I back in my swim, I was into another huge carp.
Oh, yes. Yes.
This was another chunk and was easily another 60. After heaving this lump onto the scales, it swung the needle round to 64.5 pounds, edging ourselves ever closer to our insane 70-pound target.
Oh, I can't hardly lift it. As fishing sessions go, this is up there with the very best. Our 7th fish over 60 pound, and personally, the hat trick for me. If Al can get one now, and a 70, it really will be almost impossible to beat this one.
After watching the other boys hauling monsters yet again, it was now coming to the end of another day. My bite time was quickly passing and my lines were now wrecked by weed. But after deciding to leave them out just in case, I was surprised by a screaming take.
It's only gone. This is hilarious. Just imagine I've been trashed. All my lines have been trashed. I gave up all hope. And it's just rattled off. Absolutely hilarious. It's gonna come off. It's gonna come off.
After the disbelief of actually getting a bite, my chances of seeing anything on the end of the line was next to nothing. With the help from Nico, he waded in to see if anything was there.
There is a fish. Yeah! There's a fish in there! Is it a big one? Yes! There's a fish in there! It's a carp!
Yeah! It's a carp! It's a common!
It's a common! It's a camoon!
Camoon!
Yes! I never thought, I didn't think there was anything on.
This ghost common carp weighing in at 33 pounds is well below our target, but it gives me vital information that I was still fishing effectively, even with large amounts of weed covering my line. These small bits of info could prove to be vital.
The following morning, just after the rods went out, Ali was quickly into more bites, but his spots were producing the dreaded catfish, landing 2 early doors. With the carp action slowing yesterday as well, was this the end of our ridiculous success?
The action has slowed down, but to be honest, I'm not at all surprised. Any lake you go to, not just one of this size, you can't expect the same spots to keep producing with the regularity that they were. Conditions are not as good as they were at the start of the trip. We've got lots of bright days, which is why it's certainly part of the reason they've slowed down. I think the catfish have moved in, and quite simply, the carp have done the off.
This was our worst day yet. No carp were caught, and with all the combining factors of conditions, catfish, and even more angling pressure, it felt like our chances now of a 70-pounder were slowly fading away.
The following morning after the rods went out, our run of bad form continued as myself and Spooner watched on as Dovey caught yet another catfish.
Not what I want as the trip's closing out. We want the carp to be biting.
We're not here for the cats. They're a pain in the neck. They come out of nowhere. They come quick and heavy, and then you've got to get the rods back out, and that's hard work, you know. But that's what it's about, you know. Nothing comes easy on these types of lakes. You've got to be ready to take on the hurdles to get the bounty at the end, the old finishing line.
We had to keep our morale up, but as another day passed by, the only action we saw is Ali's continuing run of misfortune.
Small. Wow, what on earth is that?
It's 4 kilo, bro, not much.
Seriously?
You can't always decide what picks up your bait, but when the others are regularly catching carp over 60 pounds, the contrast is laughable. But a glimmer of hope is that today is the start of the weekend's night fishing. The following morning, we woke up to a disappointing first night with no bites between us, but refreshed and ready to go. We didn't rest on our laurels, and I had a plan. I was going for broke, adding more bait to one of my spots, creating an epicentre of attraction, which will hopefully pull carp away from the old riverbed. But it's a gamble, and this will attract more small fish and thus more cats. But the plan is that one of my rods off to the sides may snare one of the lake's monsters. Well, bit of a gamble, but on a rod that's done nothing, doesn't feel like such a gamble.
Not only has the carp fishing slowed right down, but with this hot sunny weather and it now being the weekend, it's brought the locals out, which means more lines in the water and more pressure on the carp.
What's been happening so far has just been extraordinary. It's been out of the ordinary, and I knew that it can't carry on at that rate for a long period of time. So for there to be a little bit of a lull in the action, I'm happy with that. I knew that was going to happen. I'm just hoping it picks back up again. At this late stage, and with just over 24 hours left, we need a bit of luck. And this bite out of the blue from Spooner could be it.
Not actually sure this fish is still on.
For us to finish this trip on an all-time high, every bite is now vital.
As I thought, it's come off. That is my first sign of any action today. And it was sort of over before it started, really.
Our quest for wild French carp was nearly over and the finish line was in sight, but we were limping towards it. With one night left, Spooner's lost bite was all the action we saw, and on our final morning, Ali was presented with another chance.
Off. Is it off? Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm pretty sure he's lost it. Problem is, we're not getting any regular action, and we don't know. That could easily be the last bite we're going to get from the lake. It really has not gone his way.
Waited a long time for that bite, and it came off. Last chance saloon, it feels like, and yeah, that battle was lost.
The bites continued, but so do the frustrations, as Dovey had a carp snagged in the weed.
Off.
It was my turn next to see if I could change our fortune.
Another carp lost and another chance missed of achieving the unthinkable and catching a 70-pounder. And our misfortune didn't end there.
Ah, it's off. No. What was it?
This is by far the worst run of collective bad luck we've ever had as a team, and we now need to refocus.
This feeling is familiar, you know. Sometimes it happens with fishing. You get a mad spell, a really good session, and it always has to quieten down off at the end. And that's where we are now. It's quietened off. We've had a few lost fish as well now, which means that they're not feeding quite as hard. But sometimes, right at the end, there's a big loner, a big fish that you wanted to catch all the way through the trip, and they're feeding on their own for one last little snack at the end of the trip. And that's exactly why I've put my rods back out on the spots. They're fishing perfectly, hopeful of that 70-pounder. You never know.
Oh, you have beat me up, I'll give you that. But I'm in love with you, and I will come back. There's still a bit of time. The fat lady may be on the bus on the way here, but she ain't singing yet. And while the rods are in the water, anything can happen. And maybe, just maybe, you love me like I love you. You're just a little bit hard to get.
I really don't want this to come across as ungrateful, but at the start of the trip, every bite we seemed to be landing, they were all massive carp. I mean, 7 fish over 60 pound is ridiculous. But the back end of the trip is the polar opposite. Not only can we not land many fish, the ones we are landing are relatively small. It sounds weird, but if one of us doesn't get a big one between us to finish the trip off, we're almost going to leave on a bit of a negative.
Someone get the waders on. That's why I left it. Look at all that weed on my line, but I daren't bring the rod in because I felt like I was going to get a bite. Nico, quick, man, get in that water. Get that weed off.
With the knowledge I'd gained the other day that I was still fishing effectively, even with large amounts of weed on my line, has been instrumental in getting this bite. Without that capture, I may well have reeled in at a key time.
Ali's got one on. Come on. Please let this be a big one.
Ali's biggest struggle now is going to be the large beds of weed between him and the fish. This is not going to be easy.
Come on, come. Come on, come. Come over it. You're too big to get stuck in it. Be the one that's too big to get stuck in the weed. Weed, and more weed. Stuck again.
Well, he's still playing it. In and out of weed beds.
It's coming, it's coming. I'm just going to keep in this position.
It looks like he's gaining some line on it, and normally if you get them moving, you're all right. It's when they wedge themselves deep down into it.
After navigating one hurdle, Al's other rod was away. Double take carnage.
Oh, no. Balboa Bay's away. The other rod's away. Balboa Bay.
Oh, what an end this could be.
Can't believe it. It's like autobus. You wait all day and do come along at once.
Unfortunately, it was just a small carp, but that didn't matter. Al's main prize was getting closer.
This is big.
And bigger.
This is very big. I have to go in.
Al looks like he's walking in the water. This could be a good one. He's walking in fully clothed. Come on.
Oh, it's massive! Oh, my God, this is the one. Wait, bro. Yeah. Wait. It's not ready, it's not ready.
Okay,
it's a big common, isn't it?
Big common.
Is it really big?
Big, really big.
Wait.
Okay.
It's not ready, mate. It's nowhere near ready, and we're on braid now.
Okay.
Oh, come on, just get it in the net.
Nearly. Nico, go to it, go to it, go to it.
He's netting it.
Go to that, go to it. Yes! Yes!
Yes, I think he's screaming.
Yes! Yes! Go on, Al! That's what we wanted, boy! Whoa!
Oh, there's fist pumps going on.
25 kilo, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I think plus.
Well, however big it is, he cheered and it's in the net. He's possibly got 2 carp in the net.
Yes! 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 Good angling, Hamidi. I left that rod in there, man. I could have wound it in. Yes, boys! Yes! 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 Yes!
Oh, yes. Yes, Al. What am I doing?
Al's put an awful lot of effort into this trip. He's moved swims, he's had bad luck with small fish. It means an awful lot to all of us for him to get this big one at the end.
Now the question on everyone's lips, how big was this carp?
Oh, my God. Yeah, please, mate. Oh, my God. Heaven on earth. That's an earthquake when we lay this down.
That is.
That's big.
That's big fish, you know.
That is massive.
That's big.
Oh, my
That suddenly got a lot bigger.
God.
So wait, first, it's all zero, isn't
It's
it?
all zeros, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's huge, mate.
That's massive.
You are not going to believe it. You're 70 pounds, 6 ounces?
Yes! That's unreal! How am I going to team target? It's not even a target. I can't believe that's happened.
I actually can't believe that's happened.
To put it simply, this has been the ultimate trip. A load of very big carp topped by Ali's 70-pounder. Absolutely incredible and all targets smashed. Or as the French would say, bon anniversaire.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to get my knees up.
No way, look at him.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes!
you are witnessing the greatest moment in my angling life. I can't believe it. Thanks, lads. Thanks for all your support over the week, 2 weeks, whatever it's been. You've kept me going. This lake's beat me up, but wow, has it rewarded me. I can't believe this has happened, honestly.
Oh, I can't. We have some ridiculous results, but to come here and do it again.
Beyond words, I just have no words. I have no words for this.
It might be the biggest fish in the lake at the minute, that. Because the other ones are down, aren't they? That's just
That is massive.
I can't believe we've caught it, boys. Oh, my God, lads.
well done, mate.
Well
Thank
done,
you
bro.
so much, boys.
You could probably come and fish a lake like this and fish it every week for 10 years and not catch that carp. It's my needle in a haystack moment, you know. It's one of those times where it's just gone right, you know. It's mad, mad.
He might have had a 70-pounder. I've turned up to a wild lake, had 3 over 60-pound. Bonjour.
My life. Words will never, ever do this moment justice. Just the most climatic end to the greatest session of our lives on one of the most unbelievable venues we'll ever visit. Thank you, darling. You are an absolute machine. Yeah! Come on, son! I'm gonna yes! Go on, do it again. Give it me. Give it me. Yes! Well done, mate. That is a rat.
Carces completed it, mate.